And I think we want to actually extend the pipe a little bit more. It looks a little short there, so let's maybe pull that down. Alright, let's just do Control A, we'll just get rid of these blueprints. So then slow down the capture. Okay, so let's move this down, and obviously we want to keep this piece of pipe here lined up properly with his elbow piece, so let's maybe just detach this from the other piece here. Okay, so let's maybe delete the turtle smooth on the pipe for now, and let's go over to element. We'll grab the bottom section only of the pipe, and we'll just detach this as a separate object. Alright, so just detach it, hit OK to that, and now we can just select that bottom piece of pipe as well as the elbow, and we'll just pull this down a little bit more. We want it to be closer to the tank down here. Okay, so with those two pieces selected, I'm just going to drag them down on the Z a little bit more. Okay, we'll eventually have this cut into the body here later on, so don't worry if it's intersecting like that. Just put it about there maybe. And now we can just extend the upper pipe down. Alright, so just grab that bottom border there, and we'll just pull it down. Okay, we'll just push it in like we had it. Okay, that should be pretty good. And let's also maybe attach the bottom pipe to that now. Okay, so I'm just going to go over attach, click on the bottom pipe, and we'll put the turtle smooth back on with 2 iterations. Okay, I think that should take care of that piece for now. And I'm going to wait to mirror it over. We're actually probably going to have to end up cutting the main body part in half once again, because we need to cut in a few different holes here for other pipes that go inside. So we'll just leave it over here and we'll clone it over after. Okay, and we also want to rotate this tank here. You can see it's still straight up. Alright, so let's maybe grab the cap and the tank, and I'm just going to go up to group, and we'll just group those for now. Let's just call it gas tank. And we'll go back into the back view here, and let's unhide all. Okay, and you can see it's off in this view, but we can kind of see where the cap was there. Okay, so we need to spin this over, and now that we have it grouped, the pivot point is going to be centered to the group, alright, or the 2 objects that we have in the group, and you can see it's up here. So if you rotate it right now, it's going to spin off on a weird angle. Alright, so let's hit Control Z to that. And we need to move the pivot point down to the center of the cylinder, so this will be the rotation point for the group. Alright, so let's go into the hierarchy tab again, hit Effect Pivot Only, and we'll just use the Move tool to move the pivot point down to the center of the tank. Alright, so just line up the x-axis there with that center edge, turn the button off, and now we can just rotate it over. Okay, and let's maybe turn off our snaps here. So to rotate it out, but we want to make sure that it's actually clearing the body here. Alright, so let's pull it out a little bit more. And that's probably good right about there. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, while we're at it, let's maybe just add the rest of the detail to the tank. Alright, let's maybe do Control I to invert the selection. We'll just hide the rest of the body here. So we just have the tank. Okay, and we have some bands that go around this, which I don't know if we'll really be able to see in the blueprints. Here they are here. Okay, so I think we'll do that part first, and then we'll start adding the step on there. Alright, so let's maybe just extract this right out of the tank so that we know that the radius will be correct. Alright, so I'm going to grab the tank there. Let's ungroup it now that we've rotated it. And we'll just disable the turtle smooth here, and let's drop down into edge. Okay, I'm just going to grab this edge right here and do a ring, and we'll do a connect on that. Let's do 1 seg, no pinch, no slide, and okay. And in the left view here, let's just maybe do a chamfer on that edge loop. Okay, we'll take this up a bit. Let's do maybe like 7 for now, and okay. And then we'll just grab one of the inner edges there, do another ring, control click polygon, and let's just go down here to detach again, and this time we'll detach it as a clone. We don't want to delete the polygons on the actual surface of the tank, we just want to clone those off. Okay, so check that off and hit OK. That'll make a copy of the polygons for us. So let's just select this piece here. Oops. Okay, and we also want to center the pivot point on that. So back into the hierarchy tab, center the object, turn the button off. And I'm just going to move this band over for a second. And we can also clean up the tank here. We don't really need to have those two edges there, so we'll just take those out quick. Alright, so loop those two and control backspace them out. And then we'll just put the turbo smooth back on there, and we'll just start working on the band. Okay, so let's go back in the left view here. And we'll just move this over and line up with the blueprints. Okay, so right about there, that's the top of it there where it rolls over. And it looks pretty much like the white, the right width. Okay, so we need some thickness on it obviously. So we'll just use a shell again, put that on, and we'll take up the outer mount a little bit more here. We don't want it to be super thick, but we want it to be somewhat noticeable on the tank. So let's maybe do 3 on the outer mount. And we'll just convert that to double poly right now. And we will turbo smooth this too so it matches the tank surface. Alright, so let's maybe add a couple of support edges here on top. Just do a ring there and another connect. 2 segments again, and just pinch those out. And for this one, we want it to be pretty close to the outside edges, so that's quite sharp. Let's do maybe like 90. Okay, and we'll also add a couple here on the sides. Ring on those edges, another connect, and we'll just dial this one back a bit on the pinch. Let's do about 60 and okay. And once again, we can get rid of this bottom one on each side. So loop those edges and control backspace them out. And let's just go into isolation mode with Alt Q here for a second. And we don't need the inner polygons here as well. So ring an inner edge, control click polygon, and just delete those out. Okay, and let's maybe just smooth this out with the turbo smooth, 2 iterations. And let's see how that's fitting for us. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so just make sure you have it lined up in the correct position there on the blueprints, and we'll hold down shift here and just drag a copy over on the X to the other one and line that up the same. Alright, that should be good for now. Let's maybe start working on the actual steps. Okay, so in the top view here, we'll just zoom in here a bit. Let's maybe grab a box for this. Alright, I'm just going to draw this out over top of one of the stairs here. And we'll figure out the size in a second. Give it a little bit of height. And we'll also move it up here in the left view. Okay, so let's drag that up a bit. Let's put our shader on it. And we'll just figure out the size here. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is convert it to double poly. And we look pretty close on the length. Just going to make it a little bit wider maybe. Okay, and I think that's probably good. Just going to move it up a bit for a minute. And let's grab the top and bottom polygons. Okay, back in the top view. You turn on your polygon shading with F2, on or off. And with those 2 polys selected, I'm just going to do an inset. And we'll take that up so it matches the blueprint there. Let's do about 7 and okay. And then we'll just hit bridge here to make the hole in the center. Okay, and for the thickness, top to bottom here, let's just see what we got on the blueprints. Okay, that's the end of it right there. So let's actually get out of polygon here. We'll just move this down and line it up there. Okay, we'll take the height up a little bit more. Let's just do it by vertex here. Alright, so grab the top verts and we'll just drag it up a bit, make it a little bit thicker. Alright, I think that's about the size we're looking for. Okay, so for this, we want to have the front corners a little bit more rounded over, and we want to have these two back ones a little bit more sharp. Okay, and if you look on the blueprints here, you can see where the edges are. Okay, and you can see these ones here in the front are a lot farther towards the middle. Okay, so let's just go back into edge, drag through those front edges, and we'll do a connect on those. Let's do 2 segments, and we'll pinch those out a bit. And I'm just going to turn on my see-through here. Okay, and you can see where the edges are right here. So we'll just take that up until it pretty much matches, about 67 or so, and okay. Select those back edges there, we'll do the same thing here, and this time we'll take the pinch up a lot more. So the edge is a lot more close to the corner here. Let's do about 97, and okay. And same thing on both sides here. Grab those edges, another connect, and we'll dial this back a bit. Let's do about 75 or so, and okay. Okay, so just like that. And to get the front rounded over, we're going to need to move this edge down a little bit more. Alright, so let's go into vertex, drag through these 4 verts here, as well as the 4 at the other end. Okay, and we'll just pull those back until it kind of matches up with what we have in the blueprint. Alright, so just move them back straight on the X to about there. And that should give us a pretty round corner. Okay, so let's add some support to the sides. Just going to grab this corner edge here, do a ring and another connect. And let's take this up just a little bit. Let's do about 80. Actually, let's take it down a little bit. We don't want it to be too sharp. Let's do about 75. And okay. And let's also do that with the inside here. So grab one of those edges, ring and connect. And we also need some on the top and bottom here. So grab an edge there and one here, and ring that and connect it up. And we'll do that about the same. Okay, and I'm just going to add a couple of additional edges here, maybe in the center, just so it doesn't have any artifacting when it smooths. If you have really stretched out polygons like this, it's a good idea to break it up if you can a little bit. So we'll just grab those, do another connect, and we'll just do 2 segments, no pitch, no slide, and let's add maybe one on the front here. So just 1 segment there in the center. Okay, and let's put Turbo Smooth on, 2 iterations, and ice line, and we'll see how that looks. Okay, I think that's good for now. So let's go back into the top view. And we'll just start working on the slots here. So let's grab another box. Just gotta draw that out here. Give it a little bit of height, and we'll just move it up here so we can see it. Okay, so let's do maybe 5 or so on the length. For the width, let's take it up quite a bit. Let's do about 70 or so, and the height, let's do about 3 maybe on the height, and we'll convert that to double poly. Throw our blue shooter on it, and in the top view here, I'm just going to go to rotate, turn on my angle snaps, and we'll just rotate this 45 degrees. Okay, and we'll kind of center it in here. Okay, and just make sure it's long enough to stick out on both sides. Okay, so now that's done, I'm just going to grab the actual step piece and hide everything else. Alright, so let's maybe chamfer these edges over just to knock off these hard corners. Grab the 2 top edges, we'll do a chamfer on those. Let's do about 0.5 or so, and we'll do a little bit tighter on the bottom 2 edges. Let's do about 0.25 on that one, and okay. And that should be fine, so pretty simple. Let's just go into the top view, we'll pull this up so it's outside the piece. And we'll do this the same way as we did the grill on the front. We'll use the spacing tool to make the copies, so let's grab another spline. And we'll just draw this from the top edge all the way to the back edge. Right click to end it. We'll also move that up in the left view here. But there should be good. And now we'll just make our copies. So let's select the piece there, back up to tools, down to spacing tool. Okay, we'll pick path, grab that spline, and we'll just take up the count here until we have the spacing the way we want. Let's do maybe 16 copies on the count. And we also want to change the type here to copy so we can attach them together. Okay, so once you have that, just hit apply and close. We'll delete out that selected piece there as well as the spline. Okay, so let's grab the top one there and we'll just attach these together. So it's going to go over to attach and attach all these together. Okay, just like that. And obviously we need to cut off the part sticking out here, so we'll just do that maybe with quick slice. Alright, so let's go down to quick slice and we'll just cut it from the bottom here, just slightly inside the actual housing piece, all the way up. Like that. We'll do the same thing here. Just trim it off. Okay. And let's go maybe over to polygon here. Let's grab the ends on each side. Like that. Okay, and delete those out. And we'll also cut it this way to get rid of these ones on the short sides. Alright, so back to quick slice here. And we'll just trim it off right about here. Okay, same thing at the bottom. Okay, and then back to polygon and just grab those extra polys that we don't need on each end, and we'll just delete those out. Okay. Okay, and we'll just move these up maybe slightly here. I'm just going to center the pivot point as well. Okay, we'll smooth that up a little bit more. Okay, and I think that should be good for the step. Let's unhide all, and we'll just figure out where we need to position it. Right, let's control click the outer piece there. Okay, we just want to make sure it's lined up in all the views. Check the top view here. Alright, and it's lined up in the top view. It's a little off in the left view, but I think we'll just leave it lined up in the top because it's a little easier to see where the other pieces go.